All right, well, hello everyone and welcome. I'm Steve Maren. I'm director of the Beckman Institute for Advanced Science and Technology, and I really want to thank all of you for joining us in this really momentous occasion, opening this beautiful cafe. The cafe is named after Ted Brown. We call it Ted's Cafe, as you see on the glass. He was a driving force for the project, and unfortunately, Ted couldn't be here with us to celebrate today. But we're really happy to have his daughter Karen and other family members, including his son-in-law Patrick, here to celebrate with us. Also thrilled that Dr. Ann Holtgren, who could be here with us. She's the executive director of the Arnold and Mabel Beckman Foundation. First, I'd like to introduce Provost John Coleman, who will share a few remarks. Provost Coleman joined Illinois in July of 2023. He's been a champion of bold initiatives at Illinois, including the work that we do here at Beckman. Thank you for coming, Provost Coleman, and saying a few words.
Well, thank you so much, Steve. Thank you all for being here. What a tremendous, really a tremendous day. Spaces like Ted's Cafe matter a lot to the heart of a community, and I think about and talk a lot about how we build communities on our campus, how we give people opportunities to come together and talk about whatever they want to talk about, whether it's work or outside of work or whatever it might be. It's a moment to establish those kind of human connections that really can elevate the work that we do. Let's just learn about each other a little bit more, understand what we're all dealing with and what we hope for, and it matters. And whether it's an opportunity to gather for 5 or 10 minutes over a cup of coffee or for a little longer time over a sort of a snack or something, it all matters. And it really adds to the fabric of the place. And of course, this institute was built on the whole premise of bringing people together and bringing people, having people collide productively from different disciplines and different backgrounds, different training and so on. So I think this is really wonderful that this is happening, that we're here at this particular day. I will say now that was all off script, and now I have to read these words, and I will try to avoid having them duplicate those words as much as possible. But this really is a sort of a passion point for me, I guess, because I just think these spaces matter so much for the people who are here, as well as the people who we want to bring into the university community and to be part of our teams and part of our university culture and our university family, if you want to use that term. Ted Brown, as many, if not all of you know, has been a champion for the Beckman Institute and this cafe, and indeed for building opportunities for community and collaboration right from the start of the Institute. We are very grateful for Ted's generosity and for his hand in creating and renewing this beautiful, important space for the faculty, staff, students, and visitors who will benefit from it for years to come. And I will say about this space in particular, there are a lot of visitors to this building, so it really is wonderful to have a space for them to join with us and to be with us. As you all know, the Beckman Institute was the first interdisciplinary institute on the Illinois campus, and Ted Brown, as the founding director of the Institute and vice chancellor for research and dean of the graduate college at that time, worked closely with Arnold and Mabel Beckman on their vision for this place and this space. The Beckmans were interested in funding projects that transcended a university's normal organizational structure, and Ted led the creation of a proposal for an Institute for Advanced Science and Technology. From the beginning, Ted and the Beckmans planned a cafeteria space in the Institute designed to bring people together and allow them to enjoy a meal or a cup of coffee while solving the problems and puzzles that come along with interdisciplinary research, or, if not solving those problems and puzzles, devising new and better questions to ask, which itself, of course, can lead to those solutions. The Beckman Institute was built to be flexible, to adapt to the ever-changing world of scientific and technological research, so it is very different today from what it was years ago. And as it happens, it was time for the cafe's appearance and functionality to evolve nearly 40 years later as well. And all of that brings us to this celebration today. At Illinois, faculty and staff are defined, and I see this every day, by a relentless commitment to excellence in teaching, research, and creative work, to thinking big and ambitiously, into meaningful and transformative public engagement in reciprocal relationship with our many partners that will have a positive impact on the world around us. And on this campus, that work is underscored by a level of collaboration and interdisciplinarity that I can assure you is truly distinctive. It is not something you find at other institutions of our kind. So to have a space like this that was designed for collaboration and creativity and designed as a place for colleagues across disciplines to come together is a valuable gift to this campus. We are at our best when we recognize that insights into the questions and the challenges of the moment may be found across the spectrum of ideas, disciplines, and communities. And to be painfully honest with ourselves, we are at a moment in time in higher education when many stakeholders aren't always so sure that we are doing all that as well as we should, and that's from across the political spectrum. So perhaps, just perhaps, breaking bread and sipping a cup of coffee here in Ted's Café is one way that we can do better to bring those different perspectives, viewpoints, and thoughts about the solutions to our challenges together. So again, we are extraordinarily grateful to Ted, who, as Director Maren's mentioned, could not be here for today's celebration. I want to also thank Ted's family, who are here to join us for today's celebration. It means a lot to us that you are here. This is, as I started out by saying, this is a truly great day for the Beckman Institute, and it is a truly great day for the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. I'm so delighted to be here with you and to celebrate with you. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for what you do every day to make this university and this world a better place. Thank you.
Well, as you probably noticed, it's impossible to talk about Beckman's history in this renovated space without mentioning Ted Brown. Ted played a crucial role in founding the Beckman Institute and creating an iconic building that brings people together. And 40 years later, he's still advocating for this vision through this amazing cafe renovation. He truly believes in this community space and its power to fuel our researchers' scientific interdisciplinary work. Ted couldn't be with us today, but we have a short video to play for him to express his thoughts.
Me, what can I say? I've been looking forward so long to being present when the ribbon is cut on this new and wonderful cafe in the Beckman Institute. It represents the spirit that motivates so much of what goes on here. It's a tool, really, albeit a wonderful, enjoyable tool for enhancing interdisciplinary interactions. It has proven itself so often, likely in ways that we're not aware of. Would that the old cafe tables could speak. They could tell tales of conversations perhaps now forgotten, but that fell on fertile ground to help form the basis for things that went on here in the laboratories, in the papers published, and out in the world at large. Not only that, the cafe was and will continue to be a success because there was a lot of good food to be had, and you can be sure that tradition will continue and grow. I'm proud that my family can be part of this bigger and better venture into the realm of feeding the spirit as well as the body in this beautiful home of interdisciplinary science. Thank you.
We really miss Ted can't be here. Okay, next I'd like to welcome former Director Jeff Moore. Jeff was instrumental in gathering momentum for the renovation project in 2021. He and Ted worked together to raise money for the project. And in fact, Jeff and his wife Leanne also made their own gift to the renovation. So Jeff, thank you so much. And sure, you go.
I thought I'd give you a little bit of history about what took place really starting around 2016 or 2017. I was interviewing for the director position, and you know, when you interview, you go around and you have meetings with various groups, and the resounding message that I heard was there needs to be a new cafe. And you know, the building was put up in 1989, and in great part, I would say not a single thing about the cafe changed between 1989 and 2016. I took that all in stride, but it's important to realize, like, okay, you do go to those meetings for a reason. You do get your voice heard, and it just may take almost a decade before your voice is finally heard to the point that there's actually something tangible on the other end. At first, that message didn't really land, I would say, too hard on me. And, you know, fortunately, it became clear, in great part with my sounding board, Leanne, who recognized from my own experiences eating here many Friday afternoons after AMS meeting that this is really something that is unique and special to the Institute. What became clear as the director was the thing that we value most at Beckman is the presence of people. People showing up in person in, as John said, these shared spaces. It's that presence that's especially important when you're doing interdisciplinary collaboration. Ted has written a book called Truth Making, and in that book he really describes, you know, the importance of being able to communicate to your collaborators whose field may be far from your own, but you share a common goal and you bring that together if you are able to communicate. And there's no better place to work out that communication than when you're sitting down in the presence of your collaborators. What finally transpired then was, you know, the idea of being able to put this together. And I should say that Ted all along understood and understands this importance of the cafe. In fact, if you go back and ask Ted, you know, in the early days of when the Institute was being planned and designed, there was a budget and they had to stick to it, and some things that were in the initial project planning didn't make it. But Ted held fast to the idea that the cafe was absolutely an essential piece of this building. And he knew it then and he knows it now, and that's why he's, you know, reinvested together with his family. And having known Audrey and that family, I know it's the belief that they something that they all share and are happy to play a part of. I think Karen will speak to that. And so, I hope that the place is exactly what we have in plan for it. With the advances of remote work, there's so much that we can do separate. But, one thing we still haven't figured out to do virtually is how to eat with one another virtually. So, we still need to put food in our stomach, and there's no better way to do that in the presence of your collaborators. And so I want to thank Ted and Audrey and the family for holding on to this vision and for helping us make this gathering place possible for generations to come. And before I close, there's a few other key people who were so instrumental in making this happen. Kara Johnson, Patty Jones, Meg Dickinson, Stacy Olson, and Josh. Rob Fritz. I'm standing up here like it's the Academy Awards or something like that. But truly, I hope I haven't left anybody out. But then Nadia carried the torch. Kathy Murphy carried the torch after that. And Steve, thanks for bringing this across the finish line to a closure, because it really was an example of how, the staff at Illinois is really able to make the continuity between the faculty coming and goings that we all tend to do. So thanks to everyone who contributed to the cafe. And please, I want to see that, you all sharing lunch here in the near future. So thanks so much.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. Before we cut the ribbon and enjoy some coffee, I wanted to share a few final thoughts. I've been leading Beckman for a little more than a year now. Before that, I was an undergraduate student on this campus and was one of the first researchers to work in the building when the lab moved over from psychology to Beckman. I actually don't remember the cafe from that moment in time. I think it was my undergraduate budget that prevented me from having lunch here. So this is my first opportunity to experience the power of the cafe to bring us together. I'm really excited for this moment. Ted's Cafe, like others have said, offers a gathering place for researchers, staff, and students. It's a place that welcomes others to campus and community members who haven't spent much time at Beckman. The renovation project has been an exercise in hope and perseverance. It was said to be completed when I arrived in August 2024. It's taken a few years to complete, but now that we're standing here in this beautiful space, I'm so incredibly thankful. First, thank you to Ted Brown for his vision in founding this institute and his steady belief in the value of the cafe. I also thank the rest of the Brown family. Thank you so much for attending, all of you. As Ted reminds us, they've all contributed. Ted also chaired the fundraising for this project. He personally wrote letters and made phone calls to encourage support for the project. On these easels here, we have two gifts that we'll send to Ted, the original Beckman Cafe sign and a fresh photo of Ted's Cafe. I'd also like to thank Stan and Judy Eichenberry, as well as Jeff and Leanne Moore for their gifts in support of the project, as well as to all the other donors who have made this space possible. Thank you as well to the countless members of the Beckman community who have both contributed and been patient with the renovation process. I'd also especially like to thank Director of Facilities, Josh Whitson. I don't know if Josh is around there, way back there. Thank you, Josh. As well as Assistant Director of Facilities, Christy Arnett. Josh and Christy actually had me moving furniture in here a couple weeks ago. That was a lot of fun. That wasn't in my job description. I'd also like to thank Beckman faculty member Dina McDonough, who's been Beckman's in-house design expert since 2005. We're also thankful for Carter Phillips, who's sitting up here at Bevier Hall across campus. Carter has welcomed our cafe staff members into the Bevier Cafe for the last couple years and has opened his kitchen to them whenever we've asked. He's also coached our staff members in many areas. We're grateful for his expertise in hospitality. Thank you, Carter. And I'd also like to thank the Pukas, who provided music for us before the ceremony. Its members are 2 Beckman staff members, Mark Taylor, who's sitting up here, and Sandy Ivy, as well as Laura Bauer and Richard Engelbrecht Wiggins. Thank you so much for the music. And now, for the moment you've been waiting for, I'd like to invite Provost Coleman, Jeff Moore, and Karen Kane to the front to cut the ribbon. And we're going to walk through the double doors there to get to the ribbon from the back. Someone wants to give us some. All right, let's do it on 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'll just be loud. So once again, thank you all for coming. Please enjoy a cup of coffee as we celebrate Ted's Café. I invite you to stay for the Beckman Brown Lecture on Interdisciplinary Science featuring Dr. Catherine Dulac of Harvard University. She'll be speaking on the neurobiology of sickness and social behavior. Don't forget, drink your coffee before the lecture. Food and drink aren't allowed in the auditorium. We'll meet in the atrium here for a reception after the lecture. Thank you.